up, everybody? We are Sturgis bound. We left Cocoa, Florida about an hour ago. Got on the road a little bit late today. Still going through Florida. First stop today is going to be Nashville. That is about a 10.5-hour drive for us. So good bit of the day-to-day spent on the road. If there's any cool stuff, we're going to stop and see it. But my guess is it's going to be a long, boring drive. Already, first hour in, we have passed our fellow bikers going to Sturgis. How do I know? We've got another big RV. This one is towing a trailer with 4 Harleys and a BMW. So my Florida motorcycle friend, not sure who you are, but we will see you there. So I am at the Harley dealership in Gainesville, Florida. Whenever I'm on a trip, I try to stop at all of the Harley dealers on the way. They're all conveniently right off the highway. I like to stop, get to meet people who I often know online, get to meet them in person, and I try to buy a challenge coin or a t-shirt or something at the moto clothing section as well to support them. So here we go. Let's go check out Gainesville Harley. Now I am in Tifton, Georgia, checking out the Harley-Davidson here. Like I said before, I like to stop in all the Harleys. They are so convenient. They're right off the highways when you travel, and it's super fun to meet everybody, and I try to pick up something as well. So Tifton, Georgia, here we are. So it is, what is it before I start? It is 7:30 on, second day, is it Tuesday? No. So it is 7:30 on Tuesday evening. We left Florida, headed to Sturgis as our ultimate destination a few hours ago. We are not fast moving. We are towing a motorcycle trailer and driving a 38-foot RV. So we are a total of 50 feet and going to speed limits. That makes for, a long ride and a slow ride. Also, I like to stop at Harley dealers along the way, meet the folks there, and pick up a challenge coin or t-shirt or something like that along the way. So not making super great time, not really that far behind, but we certainly are not ahead. We did leave a little bit late today as well. We are now going through Atlanta. That is the Atlanta skyline that you're going to see with the city. And it is, as I said, it's about 7:30, so pretty soon we're going to have sunset, and hopefully I'll be able to show you some beautiful pictures on the horizon of the sunset with this gorgeous window in front of me. So day one, real talk. Who am I when nobody else needs me? Today was mostly windshield and highway. We made the long drive from Cocoa to Nashville, and by the time we arrived, it was much later than we expected. I love Nashville. I've been here several times before, but tonight it was just too late, so we didn't make it out to Broadway or into any of the crowds. Instead, I caught a glimpse of the Nashville skyline right before we settled in for the night. In a way, that was fitting because this trip isn't really about destinations. A good part of it's about continuing a journey that I started years ago. Most of my life, I lived by a disciplined script. I was a wife, a mother, a business owner, and I was the person who held everything together. I wore all of those roles proudly. They were important, and I wouldn't change them. But somewhere along the way, I adopted the belief that my role as a human was mostly to focus on what everyone else needed. So I stopped asking and considering what it was that I wanted. At 48, I finally gave myself permission to start answering that question. I began stepping into new adventures and discovering who I was beyond the roles I had always carried. But life had other plans. My husband's health changed everything, and almost as quickly as that new chapter began, it was put on hold. For the last 3 years, my focus returned to being the caretaker, the advocate, and the person making sure that everyone else got through each day, and the person making sure that everyone else's needs were met. I don't regret that for a single second. But when that chapter finally ended, the woman who had started finding herself at 48 was still waiting for me. So that's what the road does for me. Jumping back on the road is about returning to the path that I started years ago. Finally giving myself permission to keep walking it. Because I want to. And because I choose to. If you spent years building everyone else's stability, it's easy to believe your purpose only exists in what you do for other people. But there comes a point where you have to ask yourself a difficult question. Who am I when no one else needs me? I'm still discovering that answer. That's really what this entire decade is really about for me. At 51, that's what's behind the miles, the rallies, and the destinations. It's about becoming someone inside my own life instead of only being the person who made everyone else's life possible. If you're watching this and you've spent decades taking care of everyone else, I want you to hear this. It's never, ever too late. It's scary to step out into a life that finally has room for you, or has room for you again. It takes courage to ask yourself who you are after years of answering to titles, responsibilities, and expectations. Somewhere along the way, many of us became good at fulfilling the roles that we were given. That we forget that we are also individuals with dreams, curiosity, and adventures that deserve a chance. Maybe the bravest thing you'll ever do isn't climbing a mountain, starting a business, or riding across the country. Maybe it's just giving yourself permission in your 40s, in your 50s, in your 60s, or even later to rediscover the person that you were before you put yourself aside for everyone else. Reclaiming your life isn't selfish. It doesn't diminish the love you've given or the sacrifices you've made. It simply means making sure that in the story of your life, you're more than a supporting character. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait until you think the timing is perfect. Life has a way of changing our plans. If there's something inside you that's been waiting to come back, have the courage to answer it.